feature match area after his win. Warren looks to be coming into the red zone here. Maybe actually going to be a Sensei's Divine top. Well, it looks like he's working his way into the red zone. Eventually, here's an Entreat the Angels. He'll sacrifice a Flooded Strand with Entreat the Angels' Miracle Trigger on the stack because he needs another source of white mana to be able to make these Angels. On David Long's side of the table, you see the Mox Diamond. There's a Beseju who shelters all. 2 copies of Grove for the Burn Willows, a Rashadan Port, a Beautiful Taiga, and a Thespian Stage. But none of those are great against all these Angels that are being made.
So Beseju means he still has access to Loam, but in a very painful sort of way.
Indeed, though at 27 at this point.
Although Ward's going to be taking some pretty big chunks out of that life total the next couple turns.
That is for sure. A bunch of Angels, 4 of them. Warren with a pretty nice board here. Counterbalance plus Sensei's Divining Top. He'll take a draw here for his turn. There's an island. So it looks like this all happened on the upkeep. Now here comes Vendilion Click. So Long's going to go down to 24.
Click also nice in this matchup. The Miracles player, I think, is better served trying to speed things up, especially post-board when the Lands player has access to Beseju. And if the Lands player gets sloppy with their Loam, you may be able to tag it.
Yep. Gonna cycle a Tranquil Thicket here, Will Long. Gonna use green mana from Grove of the Burned Willows, which means that Ward Warren will gain a life. There will be no dredging, just a simple drawing of the card. Copy of Trinisphere is what he's picked up. Card can be very powerful in this matchup, but not great in this board position.
Exactly. If David's able to land it very early on in the game, it can be problematic for Miracles to play back. But at this stage, with Ward having a board that can kill David over the course of 2 turns and a bunch of mana, Trinisphere is not a huge concern.
Now Long does have a copy of Dark Depths in hand. And in combination with Thespian Stage, it is a very powerful combo. I'm not sure if it's going to be able to work in time here, as he will dredge a Loam. 2 copies of Exploration and Life in the Loam are the cards that are dredged. No lands there. There is the Dark Depths. It'll have 10 counters on it. And try to thaw out a black avatar creature. And Long will just pass the turn back. Warren's going to spin a top with that last mana. Rest in peace among the cards he's looking at. Obviously a home run in this matchup.
Yeah. I mean, Lands just has to have the graveyard to do much of anything, unless it is able to establish Dark Depths plus that stage early on in the game.
Looks like on the upkeep we might see an activation here of Thespian Stage. Perhaps. It's just going to be an activation of Rashadan Port, however, to go after that Volcanic Island. Cavern of Souls has been played. We'll see what that will name.
Ooh, Ward's got a little spice in his deck.
Does he?
2 copies of Monastery Mentor in the sideboard.
All right. It's naming wizard. Here come the angel tokens. Stage is going to copy Dark Depths, and this will allow David to get a 20/20. Does Ward have an answer? Snapcaster Mage leads me to believe that he does. Going to dig up a Swords of Plowshares. And that means that David is going to gain 20 life, which is a lot, obviously. But that thing's off the table, which is most important.
And if Ward's able to follow this up with a Rest in Peace, it's just such a tough turn for David, because that was his one sequence that he had left on the board, basically. The rest is out of the graveyard.
Looks like no Rest in Peace here. Just going to pass that turn back as long as down to 28. Long going to take a look at the graveyard. We'll see if he wants to dredge Loam or not. Perhaps he's better served taking a draw step, but he'd like to put 3 cards in his graveyard, so he will dredge Loam. Thespian Stage, Life in the Loam among the cards.
Another problem for David at this point is no exploration effect in play, and lands can be pretty anemic sometimes, even when Loam is going, because it can take several turns to establish some of the combos in the deck.
Yeah, I mean, right now David is just playing extremely fair
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him, with one land a turn and maybe cycling one card a turn, he's not really doing anything broken, which lands is certainly capable of doing some broken things, but he's certainly behind on the board right now. Looks like he might be taking a look at his sideboard to see what his outs are in this situation.
And you can see mana bonds in the sideboard there. He really shaved down on his ways to cheat multiple lands into play, and it's very hard for him to catch up in that spot if that happens.
And he's going to concede the game. Ward Warren is going to win this game and match. 2-0. Miracles will take care of lands, and Warren is off to a nice start with a little Cavern of Souls package going on.
Yeah, it's an interesting one for this kind of deck because